All right, heat number 1 is going to be Andrew Thornton and Zach Bache on the front row, Eric Burkhalter and Butch Baker on the second row, Doug Tyre Norton and Joel Naff rounding out the field. It does not look like Joel Naff has gridded, and they are rolling off, so Joel Naff will not be in heat number 1 as of right now. Andrew Thornton leading them down. Zach Bache out on the outside. Butch Baker on the outside of the second row. Eric Burkhalter on the inside, and Doug Tyre Norton bringing up the rear. We've mentioned it in weeks past, but Doug Norton never qualifies really good, never has a great starting position, and just slowly picks his way through the field. Always up battling in the top 3, top 5 by the end of the feature. We'll see if he can get up there tonight and maybe pull down the win. Pace truck is in. Green flag back in the air from Lernerville. Off into turn 1, and Andrew Thornton on the bottom. Zach Bache up high. Andrew drifts up just a little bit. Zach has to move up to stay away. And Butch Baker making a move on the high side for second place. Burkhalter almost goes off in turn 2. He was way high, but now Butch Baker right to the back bumper of Zach Bache looking for first. Oh, they touch briefly coming off turn 4. Everybody keeps going the right way, and Zach Bache maintains the lead for the moment. Butch Baker, fastest lap so far. Now looking to the high side. Can't get a run yet, but he is looking up high. And a big checkup. Andrew Thornton gets turned around. Caution is out. Looks like Andrew Thornton had to check up just to make sure he didn't get into Butch. Eric Burkhalter was right there. Doug Norton sneaks by. And that is our first caution in the mods. Zach Bache still maintaining the lead. Doug Norton now being scored in second. Burkhalter in third. Thornton is fourth. Butch Baker has gone to pit road. Let's take a quick look. It looks like something may have happened to Butch. Oh, as the caution came out, he goes to the high side and loses it. Got too high and got too turned and got rolled over. So he had to be towed to pit road, and he is not going to be able to start the feature up front tonight. Looks like the lights are out on the pace truck. They are stacking back up side by side. Pace truck will come off in turn 3. Pace truck is in. Green flag back in the air. Zach Bache down the front straightaway, has the bottom line. He's going to drift up coming out of turn 2. Doug Norton is there. Burkhalter is right there on the bottom battling for second with Doug Norton. Norton gets a good run. They touch briefly coming off turn 4. I think we'll see a lot of that tonight. Andrew Thornton making a run down to the bottom. Can't get enough momentum up, and coming to the checkered flag, Zach Bache will win heat number 1. Doug Tyre Norton comes home second, Burkhalter is third, and Andrew Thornton comes home fourth. Heat number 2. Brian Mansfield and Isaac Salas on the front row. Michael Scruggs and Edmund Jones on the second row. Doug McLaughlin and Brian Lawson on the third row, although I don't believe we will see Brian Lawson take to the track. Getting off that pit road is always so much fun, but especially in the sprint cars, it's so tricky. One more time around behind the pace car, then Mansfield will lead them to the green. Isaac Salas out on the high side. And so far tonight, whoever starts on the outside has been able to get the advantage through turn 1. But that bottom line, we saw it in the last heat. If you carry enough momentum through there, you can keep your nose out front, drift up, and make it very hard for that outside line to work. Pace truck is in. Green flag in the air, heat number 2. Brian Mansfield gets a good jump on Isaac this time. Isaac's got to run up on the high side, though. Brian not able to get back up and carry the momentum. Isaac almost over the edge there. He was running so high. Back behind him, Scruggs and Edmund Jones side by side. Scruggs comes out ahead on that. Sal is starting to open up a bit of a lead over Mansfield. Michael Scruggs now into third. Edmund Jones trying to hold on to fourth, but Doug McLaughlin is right there. McLaughlin has some momentum on the high side, but caught a little bit of the wall, I do believe, coming off turn 4. Up front, Isaac Salas already 0.8 of a second ahead. Michael Scruggs, however, is starting to run down Brian Mansfield. Doug McLaughlin now up to fourth. Edmund Jones has drifted back to fifth. Isaac Salas just walking away from the field. 1.1 second lead over Brian Mansfield in second. Michael Scruggs in third has closed that gap down to 0.8 of a second, but it looks like Mansfield might be picking up a little bit of steam here. Doug McLaughlin holding on to fourth. Edmund Jones back in fifth, and they're all pretty evenly spaced out as the white flag comes out. Isaac Salas one more time around the track. He's going to get the checkers this time, and in just a few laps, 1.5 second lead, and Isaac Salas wins the heat. Brian Mansfield second, Scruggs is third, Doug McLaughlin is fourth, and Edmund Jones comes home fifth. All right, warm-up time. Isaac Salas and Butch Baker, very similar times, very similar strategies during their heats, very similar lines. Will make for some interesting racing when those two start out front. Actually, Butch, after having the problem, won't be starting out front. This will be one of the first times he has not started up in the top 5, or at least in the top 3. So we'll see how well Butch Baker works his way through the field to get back up there. We've seen him have to come from the back in the past when he gets into an early incident. We'll see if he can make something happen here tonight, if he can get out front, if he can get past Isaac Salas. Brian Mansfield was currently fastest on track. Now he's way down yonder. Way down there. Oh, as Zach Bache got a little too high running side by side and ends up upside down on the front straightaway. We've got cars flying off the track everywhere as these guys really testing the limits here during the warm-up, trying to find any extra speed they can for the feature. 1 minute left. Practice just about over as Scruggs goes flying off the track there. Edmund Jones way off the track in turn 2. And warm-up is done. Qualifying and heats all done. It is time to go racing. Doug Tyre Norton really sent it at the end of the warm-up there. All right. For the feature, it'll be Zach Bache and Isaac Salas on the front row. Doug Tyre Norton and Brian Mansfield on the second row. Eric Burkhalter and Michael Scruggs on the third row. Andrew Thornton and Doug McLaughlin on the fourth row. Butch Baker and Edmund Jones rounding out the top 10. Joel Naff will start 11th. Brian Lawson has not gridded for anything. Don't know that he will grid for this one. Not 100% sure that Joel Naff is going to. He is not showing his gridding. So a 10-car feature. Butch Baker, the fastest so far. Actually, the second fastest so far tonight. Isaac Salas has the fastest lap of the night. Butch Baker, the second fastest lap of the night, has to start back on the back row in ninth. One more time around for the pace truck. Pace truck about to drop off Zach Bache, and Isaac Salas will lead him down. Doug Norton has a great starting spot. We'll see if he can get to the front quickly. Green flag in the air. Isaac Salas way up high, and everybody is going to make it through turn 2 safely. Isaac Salas to the lead, but Mansfield following him through. Isaac Salas takes the lead. Brian Mansfield now up to second. Zach Bache finally gets to move up to the high line. Doug Norton got stuck on the bottom and is going way back. Michael Scruggs, Eric Burkhalter still battling side by side. Burkhalter comes out ahead on that deal. Doug Norton drops all the way back to 7th place. Now has to fight his way forward. Andrew Thornton has been working the bottom line a lot tonight. We'll see if he can get up here to this other group of cars. Will he go to the bottom and make a pass work here? Brian Mansfield still in second, but after just 5 laps, Isaac Salas has a 1-second lead. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th is, Scruggs gets a little too high, and he goes off in turn 4. Looks like he might have had a little bit of help from Burkhalter. Isaac Salas still up in the lead. Doug Norton had an incident. Doug Norton gets too high in 1 and 2 and goes off the back of the track. We'll see if he can recover any of that. Meanwhile, Isaac Salas still in the lead and continuing to open up that lead. 1.5 seconds over Brian Mansfield now. Zach Bache to 3rd. Eric Burkhalter now up into 4th. Andrew Thornton up to 5th. Doug McLaughlin is now 6th, and he's having to battle Butch Baker, who has not advanced as much as we thought he would. Currently in 7th place. He had to check up to make sure he didn't get into the back of McLaughlin. Loses a lot of ground there. Edmund Jones right there with him. Michael Scruggs still on track in 9th place. Doug Norton has gotten back on track in 10th. Still on the lead lap, but Isaac Salas is coming. How long will they be able to hold that lead lap? Isaac Salas continuing to walk away with this. Now a 2-second lead after just 10 laps. Isaac Salas seems to be gaining about a second every 5 laps, extending his lead that much. He is about to lap Doug Norton for the first time. Butch Baker now starting to make his way forward. He got around Doug McLaughlin, now up to 6th. Andrew Thornton is his next target, and he's running him down really quickly. Remember, Butch Baker came into the night with the points lead. 25 points over Brian Mansfield. Michael Christian 3rd in points. Andrew Thornton 4th. Zach Bache 5th. If they can hold him back for a while, as Doug McLaughlin has a problem. Same thing we saw with Doug Tyre Norton just a moment ago. Getting too high off of turn 1 and 2 and going off. And Eric Burkhalter now battling for 2nd. Gets a tap from Mansfield. Managing to hold on to it though. Zach Bache still fighting back on the bottom. And they better watch out. Butch Baker is on the march. He is now up into 5th. Looking for 4th now. Trying to get around the lap car there of Doug McLaughlin. Gets around the lap car quickly. Brian Mansfield now back into 4th as Burkhalter. Isaac Salas has a 4-second lead, but briefly it looked like Burkhalter was starting to chip away at it. Mansfield now still battling with Zach Bache for 3rd. And here comes Butch Baker running them both down. And Butch gained a ton of time on that lap, right to the back bumper of Zach Bache. Butch Baker has said he likes these tracks that slick off. It benefits him the slicker it gets, And he is definitely showing it here tonight. Drops down to the bottom. He's going to get Zach Bache. And, oh, just a little tap from Mansfield. He loses the position he just picked up. Mansfield and Bache together. Now it's Baker and Bache together. A lot of door banging there, but everybody keeps it going the right way. Butch Baker now to fourth. Now trying to run down third place, Brian Mansfield. 13 laps to go. Isaac Salas way out front now, 5-second lead. The gap from Butch Baker to Isaac Salas is 7.7 seconds right now, and it's closing. Butch Baker might be the only person to run Isaac down, but does he have enough time? As, oh, just barely misses Brian Mansfield there. Loses a little bit of ground. Lost half a second on the leader. Doug McLaughlin crashed. Brian Mansfield just went off track. McLaughlin went off track in 1 and 2 again. And now Butch Baker to second place. Or to third place, excuse me. Eric Burkhalter currently in second. Isaac Salas in first. However, all that lap traffic and all that fighting that Butch had to do has really slowed him down. It is now 8 seconds to the leader. 9 laps to go. He'll have to gain over a second a lap. Probably not enough time, but he still can get to Eric Burkhalter, who's just 1.9 seconds ahead. Eli Warner saying, tell Zach Bache he needs to get moving. Zach has done an amazing job holding on to that spot so far, as much as people have leaned on him tonight. Isaac Salas, though, currently in the lead, 6 laps to go. Eric Burkhalter in second. That gap has decreased from third to second, is now 1.3 seconds. 1.2 seconds, less than a second. Burkhalter made a mistake, and it looks like Baker is capitalizing on it. 5 laps to go. Caution! Brian Mansfield. Edmund Jones, Brian Mansfield get together on the back straightaway, and Brian Mansfield goes around. And this has got to worry Isaac Salas now that Butch Baker is in a position he does not have to run him down anymore. Couple of guys getting laps back that were 1 or more laps down. Looks like Michael Scruggs is going to get a lap back. Should have everybody back on the lead lap now. Isaac Salas currently in the lead. Eric Burkhalter in second. Butch Baker is in third. Zach Bache is fourth. Andrew Thornton now to fifth. Brian Mansfield is in sixth. Edmund Jones seventh. Doug Tyer Norton back in eighth. Michael Scruggs is in ninth, and Doug McLaughlin in 10th. And if you're Isaac Salas, you're looking in that mirror and you are a little bit worried here. And you'll notice more laps on the track, but it is not as slicked off with these mods as it was with the sprint cars. As the pace truck drops off, green flag back in the air. They'll have 4 to go at the line. Isaac Salas has a good start. Butch Baker already slips by for second. Eric Burkhalter's gonna fight him on the high side. They bump. Burkhalter manages to hold on to it, but it is now Butch Baker clearly in second, and Zach Bache now fighting for third underneath Burkhalter. Now Isaac Salas and Butch Baker finally getting the battle. Butch, problems in his heat. Mansfield is around. Caution. And it looks like Andrew Thornton sent it in there. Did not have the room he thought he did. Several cars get collected there. Thornton gets rolled over, manages to stick the landing. Now Isaac Salas is going to have to deal with restarting with Butch Baker right on the back bumper. Eric Burkhalter has had one heck of a come from behind. He started in fifth and drifted back on the start. Now up to third. Zach Bache has been holding on to a top 3, top 5 position all night. Several of these drivers had incidents early and have come back, but none more so than Butch Baker, who had problems in his heat. Started in 9th place out of a 10-car field. The first 5 laps made no progress, and then suddenly, as the track slicked off, he came shooting to the front. A couple of well-timed cautions. He's up into second. Final restart of the night. Green flag in the air. And they're down and away. Butch Baker drops to the low side in turn 1. Isaac Salas fighting on the high side. The high side being the fastest all night long. Coming out of turn 4, they're going to get the white flag. Butch Baker's last chance for the win here. They almost touch in turn 1 and 2. Butch manages to keep it off of Isaac. Isaac keeps him pinched down. One last time. Butch Baker way up high, and it's going to be Isaac Salas for the win. Butch Baker comes home second. Eric Burkhalter finishes third. Zach Bache finishes 4th with having to fight 2 cars off at the same time. Doug Norton comes home 5th. Edmund Jones is 6th. Mansfield is 7th. Andrew Thornton comes home 8th. Michael Scruggs is 9th. Doug McLaughlin is 10th. And what a recovery out of Butch Baker. Isaac Salas had a great win, holding him off on that last restart when Butch Baker coming through that field as fast as he did. But, man, what a job by Isaac to hold him off, and what a comeback for Butch Baker. Let's see if we can get a word with Isaac. Hey Isaac, this is Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Man, that last restart, you had to be a little bit worried.
Oh, dude, my heart's racing right now.
You managed to keep Butch pinched down those last couple of laps. It was close a couple of times, almost touched a couple of times, but you managed to hold him off for that last little bit, man. Congratulations.
Awesome, thank you, man. That guy can freaking race. I mean, I think he started in 11th, I believe, or 10th, somewhere in there, and drove himself all the way back through the field. So, great race for Butch.
And a great win for you. It's got to be an awesome night to win the way this race finished. That was a heck of a run, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was not the caution that I wanted to see. I'll tell you that much. That first one, oh, man.
Well, before the cautions came out, you were gaining a second every 5 laps. Had those cautions not came out, I think you would have in another 10 laps probably lapped the entire field. You were going, maybe not Butch, but for the most part, you were already picking up lap cars about 10 laps in, man. That was great.
Yeah, I mean, I seen, I think 4 cars for, I think it was 7th through 3rd. I believe it was 7th through 3rd. And I was catching them like crazy. And I was like, what in the world am I doing? So I was just trying to be like consistent and like not go over the top, to be honest.
Well, you didn't go over the top, you were consistent, and you managed to pull off a win. Congratulations, bud.
Awesome, thank you.
And Butch Baker.
Buddy, what's going on?
Let's just talk about starting 9th. That first 5 laps, you made you picked up like one spot in the first 5 laps, and from 5 to 15, you ran your way all the way up to, I believe it was about fourth, and then a couple of restarts, you picked up positions and battling for the win there at the end.
Oh man, that was a tough race. Yeah, I screwed up in the heat race and went to miss somebody. Went to drive on the outside, so I didn't hit him under caution. And I went over the berm and tipped my car over, and that was it for the heat race. So that's what put me back there. And then trying to get around them first couple guys in the back there was tough. I was trying high, I was trying low, just wasn't working, and I didn't want to take anybody out. And then I was able to finally get around them, and then just slowly start to work my way up. And I just had to be patient and, one car at a time. And at the end there, we almost pulled her off.
I have to tell you, watching his times, Isaac was gaining 1 second every 5 laps. Once you got clear of those couple of cars that you had to work around, you were gaining on him, despite the fact he was opening up a 1 second every 5 lap gap. So that was one heck of a run.
Right. Well, it just goes to show you, I think I might have helped train him a little too well. I was working with him driving 358s this week because he doesn't usually drive them, and so I was trying to give him a few pointers, and might have gave him a few too many, but not all of them.
Well, that was a heck of a drive, man. Congratulations. Heck of a second place finish, and I do believe you extend your points lead even more tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. Appreciate all you do. Just like to thank SD Audio, Raise Energy, and all the fans that come out and watch us every week. Support How to Suck at iRacing. Doug does a phenomenal job, and if you need a broadcaster, look him up. He's great.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You betcha. Have a good one.
All right. Gonna see if I can get a word with Eric Burkhalter real quick. Hey, Eric, this is Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. A hard-fought third place tonight, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was all I could do to hold on to third after me and Butch got together. It jacked the front end up on it, so it was a handful.
Well, it did look like a handful, but, man, you managed to hold off a hard-charging Zach Bache and kind of keep in touch with the two leaders the last part of that, especially on that last restart. They didn't get that far away from you like we expected.
Yeah, I have no idea how. Yeah, that's about all I can say. I don't have no idea how, because it was I was turning it about 30 degrees to the right to go straight.
Oh my! Well, I've been there, but usually it's my own fault. So
that wasn't anybody's fault. Just hard racing.
Well, it was a heck of a run, man. You managed to work your way up there a couple of times and battle past some really tough drivers. Congratulations, man. Definitely a heck of a run.
I sure appreciate it, and I need to, I'm not sure. I'm looking at the replay now. I got together with somebody on the backstretch, and it sent them over. I'm not sure who that was, but I apologize. And I think I got into Brian once there on the front stretch. Just kind of broke loose and hard racing, but apologize to those guys, and good racing to everybody.
All right, man. Congratulations. Heck of a run tonight, buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right, that is it for us tonight. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for something new and exciting when the Fun Unwind Nights take to dirt and the HKC Beagle Racing Club takes to Talladega in the trucks. That will be one heck of a race. If you saw last night, I'm sure you're going to love tomorrow night. Wednesday, be back for the Outlaw HDD Cup Series and the Limited Late Model Series. Those the Cup Series race will be changing, won't be at Daytona, but we'll know by Wednesday night what they decide. I think the vote happens tonight, so we'll find out and let you guys know. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and all the other links. You can find all those links at htsai.com. Thanks to the sponsors, Combs Family Museum, VP Race Fuels, B-Make Designs, Loud Wraps, and new sponsor, Major's Garage. Great setups. Go check them out at Major's Garage. Thank you all for tuning in. It was an awesome night of dirt racing. Look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Y'all have a wonderful night.